In the headlines, notorious bandit leader terrorizing northwestern Nigeria calls for ceasefire as bandits kill 20 people in fresh Kaduna attack. Couple in Ogun State sell baby for 50,000 naira. Kano manufacturers face difficulties as they struggle to continue operations. And in the foreign scene, 2 adults, 2 children die in Australia life plane crash. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Shafiu Suleiman. Now the news in detail. Notorious bandit leader Bello Turji has called on political and traditional authorities in Zamfara state to consider ceasefire and hostilities from all sides. This is contained in a letter Turji wrote to President Muhammadu Buhari, Governor Bello Mutawalle, and the Emir of Shinkafi. Turji's peace move come at the time Nigerian security forces intensified offensive against the bandits, leading to ransacking some of their locations by air and ground troops. It will be recalled that in the past week there have been reports of at least 5 attacks on bandits' locations around Turji's area of operations. On Thursday, an airstrike on bandits loyal to Turji's ally Alilu claimed many lives and injured many others. Around the same time, there were other air and ground operations around Isa and Sabon Birni local governments of Sokoto state and Shinkafi in Zamfara state, where several bandits were reportedly killed, while many of them fled the offensive. Report also said another air interdiction conducted on Saturday around Ngebe in Bafarawa district in Sokoto state claimed the lives of 9 women, 6 children and 1 gunman, while in the wake of the confusion created by the military operation, hostages were said to be fleeing from the bandits' camp to reunite with their families. Some 10 persons from Shinkafi also escaped on Sunday, amongst others. Now, bandits have killed over 20 persons in 3 Kaduna villages and destroyed several properties, including vehicles, houses, and farm produce, setting them ablaze. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, in a statement on Sunday, identified the attacked villages as Kauram Power, Marke, and Riheya, all in Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. According to Arwan, the military and police authorities reported the incident to the state government that over 20 people were killed during the attacks, adding that houses, trucks, and cars were also burned, along with agricultural produce at various farms. Operatives of the Police Intelligence Response Team working with police in Taraba State have arrested 11 kidnapping suspects in the state. The force public relations officer, CP Prankamba, stated this on Sunday in a statement. According to the statement, the suspects were arrested for their complicity and role in the recent trend of kidnapping incidents in the state, including the kidnapping of Serbian personnel of the Nigeria Customs Service, kidnapping of a relative of the Emir of Jalingo, and the killing of a police sergeant in Jalingo, among others. He said the police team also recovered 7 AK-47 rifles, 2 Beretta pistols, 121 rounds of live ammunition of different size caliber, magazines, masks, illicit drugs, and other incriminating items during raids of various hideouts of the suspects in the state. And all public and private primary, secondary, and tertiary schools in Wushishi local government area have been shut down over a planned mandatory attack on schools to abduct school children in Zungeru and neighboring communities. The chairman of the council, Danjuma Nalango, ordered the closure of the schools. He said the move followed intelligence report by the security agencies that armed bandits in their numbers were planning to strike in the day at Niger State Polytechnic and Government Girls Day Secondary School, both located in the outskirts of Zungeru town. Malango explained that the measure is to avoid a repeat of what happened in Tegina, where Islamia pupils were abducted. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA has arrested a 27-year-old expectant mother, Ize Chioma, for possessing 1,442 kilograms of imported skunk in Lagos. The spokesman of the agency, Femi Babafemi, confirmed this in a statement on Sunday. According to the statement, the agency also apprehended 4 men, including 62-year-old Basset Emmanuel, with 182,000 tablets of tramadol during a raid at 2 clandestine drug stores in Lagos. It said in similar raids across 8 other states, Rivers, Kogi, Benue, Adamawa, Anambra, Edo, Ekiti and Ondo, over 4,000 kilograms of assorted illicit drugs were seized. Archbishop of the Lutheran Church of Nigeria, Reverend Musa Pelibus, has called on the government to intensify effort in creating a conducive environment that would allow young Nigerians to unleash their creativity and also fend for themselves to curb illegal migration. The Archbishop, who is also the president of the Lutheran World Federation, noted that the issue of illegal migration has contributed to soiling the country's image globally. The report.
This event is put together by Symbols of Hope, diaconal arm of the Lutheran Church of Christ in Nigeria. 22 young persons selected from 9 dioceses of the church in the Northeast have just concluded training on small-scale business and are here being issued with economic starter packs. The intervention by this charity, Archbishop Philibus, say is the church's own modest contributions to nation building, aimed at addressing the problem of illegal migration and human trafficking affecting the country, particularly the younger generation.
The government must intensify its own efforts in taking responsibility in creating an environment that will enable people to be creative and find a way of fending for themselves. Even when government is not able to provide opportunities for employment, cannot employ everybody, but the government can create that environment in which people can invest, can do their little businesses. What do I mean? There must be peace, there must be empowerment, there must be good education, there must be training. These are all responsibilities that the government needs to take to ensure that people are able to live in peace and safety and fend for themselves.
However, the country director, Symbols of Hope, Reverend Emmanuel Gabriel, behind this charity, said Nigerians of late are facing intense pressure to leave the country due to negative push factors. He explained that the charity in tackling potential migration in young persons has empowered over 300 to fend for themselves and also educated millions of Nigerians on the risk of illegal migration and the evil of human trafficking.
Human trafficking and irregular migration is a silent pandemic. Silent pandemic because it is killing and maiming young people on a daily basis in their thousands or hundreds of thousands. And as a church, we are saddled with the responsibility of protecting the dignity of human lives and doing all that we could to save human lives. From the office of our Father, both as the Archbishop and as the President of the Lutheran World Federation, this initiative has saved so many lives and is still doing that today.
Calling on the youth especially that no one should believe in human trafficking, because one of their objectives is to fight human trafficking and to fight illegal movement of people from one place to the other. So don't believe that you can't start better or greater things where you are. You can always do better even from where you are, because this has really helped me to understand that I don't need to travel out of my fatherland before I can make it in life. It's actually from within you that you can discover the best thing for your life.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break. Plight of Katsina spinal cord injury patients. Details shortly.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. Now a look at our top stories. Notorious bandit leader Bello Turji has called on political and traditional authorities in Zamfara state to consider ceasefire and hostilities from both sides. And police in Ogun state has arrested a father identified as Munyebu Chieze and his wife Olu Chieze for allegedly selling their 1-month-old baby to another woman at the rate of 50,000 naira. Now still ahead, Nigeria's Center for Disease Control (NCDC) records 828 new infections on Saturday, with Rivers State leading with 188 new cases out of the 828 declared on Saturday by the agency. The NCDC made this known on Sunday via its official website, saying that the 188 infections from Rivers indicated a decrease of 29 infections from 217 recorded on Friday. The NCDC indicated that the 97 cases reported by Delta State on Saturday aggregated the cases recorded from December 7 to 17, 2021. It stated also that Saturday's 828 infections brought Nigeria's tally to 223,483, with 211,522 persons treated and discharged. Saturday's figure indicated a decrease of 756 infections on Friday's 1,584 cases. The agency added that the country's active cases across the nation stands at 8,977 as of Saturday, adding that no death is recorded on Saturday as the country's mortality figure still stands at 2,984 as of Saturday. Now, Bauchi State Primary Health Care Development Agency says it has recorded 153 suspected cases of Lassa fever between January and December 2021. Executive Secretary of the agency, Dr. Rilwana Mohammed, told News Agency of Nigeria on Sunday in Abuja, in Bauchi, that the cases were recorded in 5 local government areas of the state, namely Bauchi, Ogoro, Ganjua, Kirfi, Tafawa Balewa, and Turu. Mohammed said the state have recorded 21 confirmed cases of the disease, while 6 suspected cases are currently on admission. According to him, the agency has embarked on contact tracing to curtail the spread of the disease adding that surveillance teams have been deployed to enhance rapid response across the state. He urged the people to keep a clean environment, good sanitation and personal hygiene to protect themselves against the disease. The number of people living with spinal cord injuries is increasing at an alarming rate in Katsina State, following road crashes and gunshot wounds from bandits' attacks. Some accident survivors with spinal cord injuries who spoke to Trust Television in Katsina say they are suffering in silence. Abdullahi Ahmadi says they have formed an association to ease some of their difficulties. His report.
These people are living in pains, agony, frustration and depression for several years. Though they are lucky to have undergone series of surgeries from within and outside the country, yet the challenges of managing their lives is posing a serious concern. While narrating his ordeal, Malam Abdullahi Suleiman, a 36-year-old road crash survivor, said to anybody living with spinal cord injury, life will never be the same.
How to accept the condition you find yourself. Okay. If not, you will find yourself in desperation and other problems. To, let's say, wash your things like clothes, other things that you are using. So whenever you want to put your pampers, let's say, you have to get someone that will lift you up so that you put it very clearly. So when I want to change my catheter, let's say, I find it very difficult to change it because this hand is not working properly.
Retired Lieutenant Usman Hudu, who retired from the military, said the fragile condition of people living with spinal cord injury requires serious care and concern. While Shu'aibu Halir Musawa, who is suffering for over 21 years now, described life with spinal cord injury as miserable and appeals to governments to establish spinal cord injuries rehabilitation center in each of the 6 geopolitical zones of the country.
When I had this accident, I sustained a spinal cord injury, and this injury resulted in me not being able to move any part of my body, not being able to control urine, not being able to control pieces, not being able to even have the feelings in my skin. So that is the first time when I realized that spinal cord injury patient is a patient that cannot control anything he has.
The next stage which a person can find himself when he gets an injury is to be depreciated or prostrated. That before, for at least 2 to 3 or 1, just an hour or more than that, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. But now I find myself, I cannot do it. You will be prostrated. But here in Nigeria, we are praying, we are hoping to see a day or a time when we can get at least one rehabilitation center for spinal cord injury or one in 6 geopolitical zones of this country. We ask the government, the philanthropists, the NGO, the company, and all other relatives who can help to see that we achieve this our dream.
This 25-year-old Aisha Balafuntua said it's no longer at ease as she could not even cope with her house chores as a housewife. According to her, she has to relinquish some of her responsibilities to her co-wife to enable her manage herself properly.
It has a lot of challenges as I am a housewife. I can't cook, sweep, even prepare my children when they are going to school. I can't even wash my face mask.
The major causes of spinal cord injuries are attributed to road crashes. The Katsina State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps calls for safe driving, especially during festive periods.
Safe speed. People should drive at a very safe speed so that once the speed is safe, then crashes will reduce. We also look at avoid night travels. People travel at night. In the night, when people travel, crashes occur. And when crashes occur, sometimes people don't get help. Or if they do, the help does not come early enough. So we try to advise that people should avoid night travels.
In Katsina, Abdullahi Ismayamadi reporting for Trust Television News.
5 weeks after his arrest and detention by the Nigeria police, family and friends of Kaduna-based journalist Luka Biniat are calling for his immediate release and an end to the persecution which they claim is being orchestrated by the Kaduna state government. Trust TV's Sagir Ibrahim tells us more.
What do we want? El-Rufai! El-Rufai!
These were the yearnings of friends, family and colleagues of Kaduna-based journalist Luka Biniat, who was allegedly incarcerated on the orders of the Kaduna state government on the allegation of libel and cyberbullying against the Commissioner for Internal Security. Addressing members of the press at the NUJ Council Secretariat in Abuja, the president of the Southern Kaduna People's Union, Jonathan Asake,
What do we want?
People's Union, Jonathan Asake, called for the unconditional release of the journalist, who also doubles as the public relations officer of Sokapo.
We are here calling on the government authorities in Kaduna State that are responsible for his continuous detention without trial to allow the courts to do their work and stop the persecution. We also call on the attention of the media practitioners, the civil society, and international community to be on notice that free speech and the press freedom is under siege in Kaduna State.
Asake added that while the Commissioner for Internal Security has since cleared his name, Biniat remains incarcerated, yet to be tried or heard by a court of competent jurisdiction.
His continuous detention, up to 5 weeks now running, is because the magistrate court has refused to grant bail and has kept him in detention and claiming they don't have jurisdiction. And the man in question, who we know is being used by the state government, has gone to the NUJ Secretariat in Kaduna and made press conferences clearing his name, stating his case, but Luka has not been heard. Luka can only be heard in the court, but he has not been heard 5 weeks after.
Also speaking was renowned activist Omoyele Sowore, who called for the sanction of the Kaduna state governor over the violation of media freedom in his state.
And I will want to call on the CPJ in New York to declare Mr. El-Rufai as one of the major violators of media freedoms around the world. Until we start getting these individuals held accountable for their atrocious behaviors towards journalists, it will not stop.
Family members of the embattled journalist appealed to the international community to intervene in the matter to enable the husband and father spend the holidays with his loved ones.
I've been going through a lot psychologically because every night I don't sleep. I always pray for him. I imagine a lot of things in my head in the night. And when I go there to visit him and he comes out, that's when I have a little peace. So I'm doing safe feeding. I don't want him to eat something and I will hear that at the process of this, so something happened to him, he's sick. I don't want that. And he also had a health challenge. They don't allow him to see a doctor, and I'm even afraid. I don't trust anybody. I want his freedom. Yes. I want him to spend this Christmas with his children and I.
In over 2 decades of my life, I've never witnessed so much trauma, horror and terror in one place at the same time. It's very disheartening and sad to know that this level of terror is being put on us by a fellow person from our own state.
Sagir Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV.
National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) shows that manufactured goods valued at 13.7 trillion naira are being imported into Nigeria from January to September this year. According to NBS, the country exported 757 billion naira worth of manufactured goods in the 9 months period. accounting for 0.06% of the total trade of 13.3 trillion naira. The data said the value of trade in the manufacturing sector stood at 4.78 trillion naira in the first quarter of this year, representing 49.01% of country's total trade in the period. Out of 4.78 trillion naira, exports accounted for 250.4 billion naira, while the import component stood at 4.5 trillion naira. And in the foreign news, 4 people, including 2 children, died on Sunday after Allied aircraft crashed into the sea near the coast of Australia's Queensland state. Police said the aircraft, a 4-seater Rockwell, crashed off the end of a runway at Redcliffe, about 20 miles, 32 kilometers northeast of the main city of Brisbane. Police Inspector Craig White said the divers recovered the bodies of 2 adults, including the 69-year-old male pilot and 2 children from the uptorn wreckage close to the shoreline. Australian Transport Safety Bureau Chief Commissioner Angus Mitchell said his organization is investigating. And now that's brought us to the end of the Trust TV News Update. I am Shapiro Suleiman. Thanks for staying with us.